Yeah. All right. Well, peace, peace, peace. This one come back with a quick video. Um, yeah. Well, first and foremost, I'm sorry. Hopefully, the Most High house shots blessing y'all day. By His mercies, you aren't consumed. We're alive in the Most High house shots body, and two, we're naturally alive, man. And one, yeah, I want to get into this. Let's go Proverbs 25 and 2, man, because like it's like what 50 said, like no, like almost like what 22. I mean, 22, 23 years ago, man, what 50 Cent said on Get Rich, on Many Men Are Get Rich or Die Trying. He said, listen, man, does everything have to be mapped out and spelled out for you, man? Like, like, are you like illiterate, things of that nature? Now, I'm just calling what he said. I'm not trying to talk down or be condescending or things of that nature, but a lot of things too. Let me say this. That's why we're about to go into Proverbs 22, 25 and 2 real quick, because a lot of things shouldn't, like, we should know this by, and that's why it goes into the, and that's the importance of the gospel, the witness, the testimony, the new covenant, like to know know who our God is, how He operates, how the Most High house operates, know who He is, honestly, because because a lot of times too, just because things aren't like written in here, we should kind of know that the Most High, because it says like in the like it says all unrighteousness is sin, but certain things we should know that like the Most High house doesn't mess with, like doesn't, like the brother of the assembly first one said, he don't get down with that, because there is this one thing I was thinking about I was just thinking about this, but also like last night, but also too kind of tying into the video we did. We talked about the other week about when I was watching the Brat, like when we covered the Brat things in it. When we talk about how like a lot of our sisters in lesbianism, how they're honestly, a lot of them are beautiful sisters, but they went at that lust or past experiences or Lord forbid, like at sex they've been molested or sexually assaulted or like those bad experiences, like out their lives, and that's why they choose that lifestyle. Also, then another thing too is just their lust as well. But a lot of times too, because I did hear this before. It just even kind of before I came in the word, but no, it's kind of it's more when it kind of no I ain't gonna say that, but more like coming in the word, just because it doesn't say it. Well, Romans 1 it says it verbatim, what you're gonna get later on, but we should know that the Most High house shot doesn't like it says it in Romans 1, but He doesn't approve of that anyway. Just because, like, of course, it says that. Well, it says that for both of this homosexuality, all that stuff. He doesn't mess with that, man. But let's get to Proverbs 25 and 2. It is the glory of Yahweh to conceal things, but the honor of kings is to search them out the matter. So yeah, man. Honestly, certain things like you gotta like search things out, man. Like honestly, like or sometimes even just put two and two together, or using common sense, or like general sense of things, like or just knowing how the Most High how in your house operates. That he doesn't mess with that, man. But yeah, man. Just because, and also too, like even with that, man, lesbianism, right? Of course that'll be even like that Proverbs 3 and 31, like on another tip, like envy not thy oppressor, man, because of course that lesbian that really not saying people wasn't doing that, women wasn't doing that before, but really the whole term was the island of Lesbos with Rome, with Esau and the Edomites, things of that nature. So I'm not saying that people just did that. Women did that was before that. Women weren't doing that, but I'm saying that's where the whole lesbianism thing kind of started to determine things in nature. So yeah, that's already in that to not do that. But yeah, man, let's grab Ecclesiasticus real quick, man. Let's go to Sirach, because this is another thing I was just thinking about, honestly, with that, because this in this aspect, this is kind of going to like for both brothers and sisters and women, men and women, because how men, like, we shouldn't because it says like how not to kind of sit in the midst of women with certain things, like but also too, this going in this context is going to like not having your daughter sit with, like, no, we're gonna get to Ecclesiasticus chapter 42 and verse 12. It says, behold, not every body's beauty. Then kind of lining up with the video that we just talked about. I mean, the video that everything we just talked about in the last video. But it says, behold, not everybody's beauty. So see, now I like how it says both everybody's, man, because what it is too. A lot of people get upset with the word, man, because like because like say an example, right? Like when it says let the women learn in silence, a lot of people get upset. Like, women and men, exactly. Well, pretty much men that worship women that be on that other mother goddess type of stuff, or just that type of stuff, mother goddess worship type of stuff. They get mad at that, but also too, like, the Bible, the word tells, like, it's really talking, like, going for everybody as well, man. Because just like it says, what, let the women learn in silence, like like a few chapters before this, like 20 some chapters before this, it tells men to be quiet, man. So it's not just talking about women to be quiet. The word talks about men to be quiet. So I don't understand that. But see, this is going to, like, it says, behold, not everybody's beauty. So that's talking about, like, both men and women, man. So kind of like, anyway, but it says, and sit not in the midst of women. So see, yeah, man, is what it is, man. Because let's go to verse, and also too, this is for, like, men as well, man. Because, like, I remember watching. I ain't gonna detour too much on this, but I remember watching, like, of a video, what you call him, Charlemagne the Devil, as Charlemagne, quote unquote, Charlemagne the Devil, which the Brother Chronicles of Judah calls him, or Charlemagne the quote unquote God. He's saying, man, I'm like, everywhere I go, I'm with a bunch of women, man, women around me. Like, I'm like the Dora Milaje. The Dora Milaje was if y'all seen the Black Panther, there was those bald headed sisters that like that, and I was just like, even I seen a clip of Too Short saying that. He said, listen, man, I just roll with women. I'm like, I was looking at him, kind of shaking my head, like, no, man, like, because, like, say, like, because listen, man, you shouldn't, like, let's say, like, well, unless, like, you're around your like, your peoples, or, like, most of the women, even in that, man, kind of like you want to mind the time around that being a much women doing there, like, so unless you, like, amongst your peoples, or, like, or it's not mixed, like, you with your brothers and like, because don't get twisted, man, I'm pretty sure y'all brothers and sisters had, like, homies, and even men that you had, like, friends that were girls growing up, like, this is kind of that dynamic where we come from, but but it's like. But if it's not that mixed, like, both brothers and sisters there, like, it shouldn't just be like, hanging out as men. Honestly, me personally, that's because, man, it shouldn't just be hanging around women all the time, man. It's just like, it's not really good. And that's how actually most of, like, and that's how actually most young brothers become gay, become into homosexuality, and not saying the same thing happens to them, like molestation or their lust and things of nature. That's all the time too. Gotta be around that masculine energy, man. That's why, like, that's why it's taboo, honestly. Like, because, like, one, being around a bunch of women is not gonna really build you up. Like, whether you, of course, in the word, like, we should know, but even outside the word, like, it's not gonna build you up. You're not gonna be, like, not, because listen, not every man's mentally strong. That's why, like, we need to be around each other to build each other up, man, honestly. But that's why it's taboo now. Like, they think, like, David and Jonathan's gay. Like, when 2 Samuel 1:26, it says, listen, like, the love they have can pass the love for a woman, man. It's just like my actual brother sent me, man. It said, no, man, your brother's gonna be like, like, one, like, it's not inclined. It's not one. It's not in their nature. You shouldn't be expected to, like, one, your wife or your woman, or like that, to anybody else but your mother to die for. It's not in women to die for. They're survivors by nature. It's not in them to die for anybody really but their children. It's not really in them. It's a rare woman that she'll die, one, for her husband, or even for, like, her friends, or, like, or somebody else will love them, but that's not really in them. But yeah, so anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, man, that's what I just wanted to go into that too, because that's just, like, really, that's why Peter says, like, Psalms 133 says, like, brethren, that's in unity, or, like, or Peter says, like, love the brotherhood, things in that nature, man, just to build each other up, man. But we live in a different time period now, and that's just, like, but that's why those things aren't, like, look down upon as because it is too. Also too, that's what goes into love of many whites and cold, like love the world whites and colder. Because brotherly love is, like, actual real brotherly love is looked as gay now. So that's neither here nor there. But anyway, but yeah, it says let's read this again. Ecclesiastes chapter 42 verse 11. It says, keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies, and then byword in the city, and reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. Behold not every beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. So see, this is also talking about too in this context, talking about having your daughter sitting in a bunch of midst of women, and midst of women without understanding, like the one that's Proverbs says, like a woman without understanding is like a jewel in a pig's snout, man. Because those group of women that this verse is talking about, they're not gonna be like the Titus 2 women, the aged women that's gonna teach them good things. It's gonna teach them like kind of how like no a lot of women are being taught now by older women, man. Like, oh, don't do this, don't get married this, because they'll become jealous or damn they're envious because they never had it. And it's like, and I noticed this too as well. I was talking about this with the sister I was talking to last year. I was like, I noticed this too, like, because I think this is a problem with our people, the whole generational warfare. But I notice this is especially a lot with our women. This is something that I think younger men or men, older men are just more inclined to, no matter how much wisdom they got, they could be like, they'll try to give something to a younger man, but more women, older and younger women, older women, they're more like competing against like younger women. They're not. It's very rare that I've seen this throughout my lifetime. Older women give advice to younger women because they'll think like because I've been asked this, and she said, yeah, you usually think they're it's like they're trying to be smart or trying to be disrespectful, rude, or that like or like that underlining like jealousy undertone there, things of that nature. So yeah, man, that's just is what it is too, man. But yeah, man, that's why. But back to the point though, man. If the word's saying that, man, so what makes you think if the word's saying like have not your daughter be around like in the midst of women, midst of unwise women? Why would you think that? Like, why would one think that he the Most High Yahushua messes with lesbianism if he's saying something like that, man? Like, let's get sour. Actually, 42 verse 12. Wow, I'm actually in the good news because it says, let's get it, man. It says, keep a close watch over your daughter. If she is determined to have her own way, if you don't, she may make a fool of you in front of your enemies. So yeah, yeah, and it's pretty much like the neighborhood hoe, and that's it's like, damn, that's your daughter's like, and it's gonna be shame. It's gonna be like, and that's your name again, man. And that's why the Most High House, that's all like us, like he kens us to a woman being a whore, because it's like, damn, man, like now you're ruining my holy name, man. So that's where that whole dynamic comes from. But that's neither here nor there. But it says, it says it says make sure that her room has no windows or any place where she could look out the entrance of the house. Yeah, don't let her show off her beauty in front of men. Okay, it says in the good news translation, or speak to her time talking with the women, or her time talking with women. Yeah, now that's not talking about, because there's nothing wrong with that, like the latter part, but this is going the type of woman is going into like is going into is going into like the unwise woman, not going is going to the opposite of the Titus woman, the aged woman that can give women wisdom how to be like fear the Most High Yahushua, like godly, like wisdom, like in reverence to husbands, that things in that nature. It's not that. Even on the natural tip, outside of that, like, man, it's kind of like the clip we showed of LL Cool J's wife. Like, honestly, it's saying like, listen, it's like pretty much keep your daughter away from women that's opposite of that. Because what LL Cool J's wife said in that clip we shared a while back, she was giving them like good wisdom. That was actually kind of godly wisdom. But even though I don't think they're in the word. Well, they're in the word of course, but that was godly wisdom, what she was saying pretty much. But yeah, man, but that's what it's talking about there, man. But pretty much all this saying is, listen, if the Most High House is saying this, why would you think that he would mess with lesbianism? That doesn't make any sense, man. But yeah, I was about to make another point, but that's gonna go off topic. But yeah, man, let's go to Romans now 1. Real quick. So this all going into how we should know that the Most High Yahushua doesn't like mess with that, man. Like, and a bunch of other things too. All unrighteousness and sin. So yeah, man. So honestly, man, because I remember the first when I first got in the word, best piece of advice, one of the best pieces of advice from my elder brother, I was on the phone. He said, listen, brother, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it, man. Like, honestly, man, if it doesn't feel right in your spirit, don't do it, man, honestly. So, yeah, man, I'll never forget that, man. But it says, Romans chapter 1, verse 26. It says, for this, Yahweh gave them unto a vile affection, for even their women did change their natural use into that which is against nature. So, yeah, man, that's just clear as day as how the Most High House doesn't mess with that, man. Like, lesbianism, man. He doesn't. So, like, of course, it doesn't have to say verbatim, but a lot of things shouldn't have to be said verbatim. Like, like 50 said, man. Like, why does it have to be spelled out for you? Like, are you illiterate? You should know that the Most High Yahshua don't fool with that, man. He don't mess with that. He don't get down with that. So he doesn't get jiggy with that, as Michael Blackson said on Friday. He can't get jiggy with that. But anyway, man, hopefully this is edifying. Much love to y'all brothers and sisters. So, yeah, man. So, peace.